Innocent people just trying to have a good time.
Now at 6, a Super Bowl celebration turns deadly. We hear from a man who tackled someone with a gun. Plus, why thousands of detained migrants could be released.
And the big push to fill potholes before we get more rain here.
We're starting to see 200% more, 300% more.
I talked to a doctor who says way more people are getting sick now due to sewage in Imperial Beach.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday morning, getting a little closer to that weekend. 6 a.m. now. I'm Eric Conard.
And I'm Neda Irampour. We're going to start this hour with your forecast. Meteorologist Evan Narani getting us ready to start this day.
Yes.
So what can we expect?
So a little bit of a cloudy start, or at least cloudier than we've seen for pretty much any day this week.
Okay.
But by the afternoon, we are back to mostly sunny skies. That marine layer will start to break apart pretty quickly. For now, you can see how the clouds are centered mainly towards South County. That's where the bulk of issues related to visibility might be, although so far we haven't really seen much in terms of low clouds. Forecast for the day shows partly cloudy skies along the coastline and inland. Temperatures in the 60s, could be a little bit warmer than what we've seen earlier this week, but not by much. We're going to warm up again tomorrow, and then coming up, we'll talk about our next chance for rain in the forecast, which will be Monday of next week. We get this little bit of a stretch of dry weather and then wet weather in early next week. So details coming up. Back to you.
We were like having fun and stuff, just watching them over there on the stage, and then all of a sudden we see people like just running.
This morning, one person is dead. More than 20 others are hurt after a shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Victory Parade. Shots rang out as the event was coming to an end yesterday. Kansas City radio station KKFI says one of its DJs, Lisa Lopez Galvan, a mother of 2, was killed. 11 children are among those hurt. We are hearing from the man who helped tackle someone with a gun.
He got close to me. I got the right angle on him, and I hit him from behind. And when I hit him from behind, I either jarred the gun out of his hand or out of his sleeve, because as I'm taking him down to the ground, I see the gun on the ground.
It's unclear if that man was one of the 3 people detained by police. Authorities are searching for a motive, though a law enforcement source tells CBS News the shooting may have been sparked by an argument and did not initially appear to be the result of terrorism or extremism. And this morning here, federal immigration officials are warning that the border standoff in Congress could force the release of thousands of migrants from detention centers.
That is, unless lawmakers can come to some sort of an agreement. CBS 8's Chris Grow live near the border with the ongoing debate between lawmakers, all these people stuck in the middle of it, Chris.
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Neda. And look, both sides, actually, there were members of both sides that praised this most recent deal, which does appear to have collapsed at this moment. It could have some pretty serious ramifications. In fact, this bill would have put measures in place to tighten border security and pay for more border agents. But it seemingly has come to an end here after Senate Republicans, former President Trump, and Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson claimed that it did not go far enough. But this stalling could have an immediate impact on something else. In fact, according to CBS News, federal immigration officials warned that 6,000 migrants could be released from immigration detention centers because Congress has failed to approve emergency money that the administration actually requested. A source told CNN that ICE is discussing slashing detention space to combat those budget shortfalls. And what we're also being told here is that the agency, again, ICE, they're the ones who detain immigrants with criminal backgrounds, those preparing for removal, and those who fall under mandatory detention. Now, in both reports here, this is saying that these are contingencies, that this is being written up. So it's not clear yet if this is going to be a sure thing if no deal does indeed not get done. But then, of course, you have a number of different things that are tied to this and what priorities are going to be put first. And so we'll continue to follow this story. But again, this has more implications, more ramifications than simply just getting the deal done. Eric and Neda.
Chris, thank you for that breakdown. Right now, city crews are taking advantage of this dry weather to fix potholes and resurface our streets.
They got a lot of work to do, right? San Diego's deteriorating roads can take a beating after heavy rain. CBS 8's Regina Yarita working for you this morning on what the city is doing to try to smooth over the bad conditions there. You're along one of the very messy roads with a lot of crumbling and cracking there.
Yeah, that's correct. Good morning to the both of you. And right behind me, you can actually just see just the cracked roads, right? Just the uneven pavement as well as some potholes here. So we are on the corner of Cobb Drive and Baxter Street here in Claremont. We've been talking to residents, and yesterday they actually told us that they're pretty fed up and frustrated. They actually feel that Claremont is one of the areas that is forgotten. They've noticed a lot of potholes, and actually a recent report released by the city auditor, they says San Diego leaders need a long-term plan to fund repairs to city streets. So this audit comes about a month after a separate report found that our road pavement rating has dropped significantly since 2016. Now, before the next rainfall, crews are attempting to reduce the current backlog of 528 pothole reports. This is a number significantly down compared to last year when the city faced a backlog of more than 2,000 pothole reports. But here's what residents are saying about the recent work.
I feel like we are considered the ugly stepchild that gets neglected in Claremont.
And the woman you just heard, Jan Brown, she actually lives on this street. She says that she has a really massive pothole next to her driveway, very near it. And she said she's noticed crews actually patching up some of the potholes here on this street. But when they came here a couple weeks ago, they forgot the one near her that actually already had markings that the city crews had left, and they forgot about that one. And since then, no crews have come by to patch that up. So this is just one of the issues that we're hearing from one resident, but of course we have been seeing that all over the county, many residents pretty fed up. Now here at CBS 8, we're working for you. We actually have a survey on our website on cbs8.com because we want you to fill out that survey. We want to know some data, some background as far as comparisons compared to last year to this year, and seeing some trends that we might notice. And so on that survey, we want you to fill it out just to get more information. So you can head to cbs8.com. That's latest here in Claremont. I'll send things back to you guys.
Regina, thank you for that. Right now, many San Diego flood victims are trying to find a new place to stay because of expired vouchers for hotel and motel rooms. Some call the process unorganized and confusing as they try to work with the city and the county to get the help they need. CBS 8 spoke with this one woman who says the whole thing is just a big mess.
There's no plan because they weren't prepared. They weren't prepared. There's no organization.
She's obviously frustrated by this. Yesterday, county representatives met with flood victims who are staying at hotels because of vouchers given to them by the YMCA. Those flood victims hope they'll be able to secure long-term housing so they don't have to keep worrying about where they're going to sleep. Obviously, for these people, they don't have homes to go back to because of all the damage they saw.
Yeah, things drying out a little bit, but we do have another storm on the way for what, early next week?
Early next week, Monday through Wednesday, looking at another half inch, maybe inch total, which, I mean, when we look at our year in total, it adds a significant amount. We were above average by 2 to 4 inches. So adding on another inch will do wonders for us. But when we look at, what we've seen so far this week, we've had a very, very dry week out there. We haven't had any rain over the course of the weekend to start off the week and now to continue through it. Thursday's looking pretty nice on us. 64 along the coastline, 67 inland, partly cloudy skies out there. If you're waking up and you're thinking, not quite as cold as it was earlier this week, you are correct. We had a frost advisory in play on Monday. Now, Thursday, we have barely any sub-freezing temperatures. I mean, if we left Campo out, we would have none. But 32 in Campo right now, 36 in Ramona, 46 in Poway. Along the coastline, we're mostly in the 40s and 50s. Notable departure, especially in the areas that have more cloud cover compared to 24 hours ago. So 9 degrees warmer right now in El Cajon compared to this time yesterday. 10 degrees warmer in Alpine. We've got 5 degrees warmer in La Mesa, and you can see spots where those clouds are not with us quite as much. That's Del Mar up through Oceanside because those temperatures are a bit cooler than 24 hours ago. So they've let that heat from yesterday escape with that lack of clouds. Visibility is reduced a bit. Those clouds, for the most part across the county, are not all that low to the ground, but in Ramona, they are. We are at 1/3 of a mile, so you might want to reduce your speeds if you're driving around this morning in the Ramona area, and expect that fog to lift in the coming hours. Now, we're going to be enjoying these temperatures closer to average today through Sunday, along with dry, partly cloudy skies, and then we'll start to watch as those temperatures drop and as our transfer rain climbs going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Again, models are still coming into agreement as to how next week will really pan out, but it looks like we can expect generally 1/2 inch to 1 inch, a pickup in wind speeds, and of course those cooler temperatures as well. Let's talk about how traffic is shaping up to kick off your Thursday morning so far. We're not doing too bad out there. Greater downtown area is looking all right. We'll take you to just one crash that is in the Mira Mesa area. So we've got 2 lanes blocked with a crash on the 15 northbound at Mira Mesa Boulevard. Volume is very, very light this morning, especially at this hour on the 15. It will be picking up very shortly. So right now you can see green in both directions, but we'll keep you up to date if CHP isn't able to clear this in the next half hour or so. Looking at your border wait times, wow, 130-minute wait at San Ysidro Port of Entry. That's one of the longer stretches for this week. So you're looking at over 2 hours at the San Ysidro Port. Otay Mesa, going to run you about 80 minutes, so 1:20 in total. Back to you.
They say they don't have clean water, they don't have clean air, and we're being ignored.
Coming up next, I'll take you to an IB urgent care that's seeing a lot more people getting sick amid the sewage crisis.